Hi, Tazeem. Welcome to BoomX Beauty Beat. How are you?
I'm so great. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too. I've heard so much about you, and it's truly an honor to get the opportunity to sit with you and meet with you. And I just love your hair. You've got the grooviest hair in history. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. I was seeing some of your photos, and I'm like trying to get the tone. I was trying to put on some purple sparkly because I know you like purple sparkly things. I didn't have a Betty Boop. I know you like Betty Boop.
I do. Yeah, I love Betty Boo. I think you got to make life fun, right? I mean,
oh
we're
yeah.
serious about our business, but we got to be seriously fun in life as well, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is going to be kind of a monster interview because you've got so much going on and so much that you've done. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can, but I'm just going to kind of introduce you, I guess, as you know, you're a spa coach. You teach spa businesses how to maneuver their business, how to social marketing. You do all of that. You're an out of the box thinker, which is like me.
Yeah.
And so I really connected with you on that. And you're a master esthetician, you're a writer, you're a speaker. I can't even keep up. So we're going to try to go through as much as I can about you. But I'd love to, also ask you to sort of start way back where you grew up. Sort of, are you from here? Do you, how many siblings you have? Just kind of get to know you a little bit.
Sure. So
yeah, and you can ask me anything as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I would love to interview you. Let's flip the coin here. I'd love to interview you and hear more about your story too. So I actually grew up in Africa. I was born in Africa, in East Africa, in Tanzania. I was very young and moved with my family to the United Kingdom. And so grew up and did most of my studies, my early years, formative years, education was actually in England. And then I moved to Canada when I was 16 years old. And finished my high school year here in Canada and then moved on to post-secondary education. But knew very quickly that as much as academics was important, my parents really wanted me to be a lawyer, which I was like rolling my eyes going, I don't know about this, but I did start my BA and then realized really quickly that it was just not where my heart was. And so, transitioned out of, wrapping up with that and actually went and did fashion design actually initially. Then I did merchandising. And then from there, moved into doing aesthetics and makeup artistry.
You were a stylist for a little bit, right?
Yes, I was a stylist, exactly. And so I kind of feel like I've done the whole wheelhouse of, working in the beauty industry. Yeah. But the other element that I've studied over the years is actually feng shui energy, which I absolutely love. And I embrace it in every aspect of my life and in my business. And so, that subconscious level of understanding energy is so powerful, right? And I really also believe and have studied the concept of, law of attraction marketing and mindset work. So I do a lot of mindset work with my clients because that is the piece that knocks us out at the knees so often, right? And then I graduated from doing aesthetics. I worked as a stylist for a little while, then decided I needed to go back and really just open my own business. So my parents were amazing. At the age of 21, I opened my own spa. And I look back at that and I think, oh my God, that's crazy to think about.
I have a 22-year-old. I'm trying to fathom it right now.
Exactly. So it was really, like, my parents were amazing. I think because I grew up around business, for me, business was just instinctive. It wasn't anything that I needed to learn. Like, things were just instinctive for me. And so I decided to open up my own business. My parents were super supportive. They totally believed in me. My mom and I are best friends. I talk to her every single day. And she is truly my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. My parents are. I am so beyond grateful. Without their support, I wouldn't be who I am today as a human, right? And so even still to this day, they still continue to love on me and support me. And, I'm so grateful for that piece, because I think when you have family support, it changes everything, right?
Yeah.
So, and I married my teenage sweetheart. We met when we were 13.
What?
Yes, and we've now been married, pretty close to 30 years, right? So,
Holy.
yeah, we've been together longer than we were before we even were apart. And so my story is really quite magical. I'm beyond grateful, but I've worked hard.
Yeah.
I started my business at 21.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, in the late 1980s, I joined the Chamber of Commerce. And I think this is a really crazy, funny story, but I remember going to the chamber meetings in the morning for breakfast, and 95% of the people in the room were old boys club men. And I remember people we got the opportunity to stand up as you walk around, as you stand up and you introduce yourself. And I remember after that first couple of breakfasts, these gentlemen would come over to me and say, "You're mighty young, like to be here," and they were almost condescending, but not quite. And I would always just chuckle and say, "It's not about age, it's about attitude."
Wow.
And so I kind of threw them all, I think they didn't know how to take me a lot of the times, right? And I really stuck it out. I really proved myself. It took a lot. I've given so many of my years to prove to others who I am.
Yeah.
And I really believe in life that we have to give before we get.
Yeah.
And I think all too often people have this idea that they are owed something. And I truly believe that you've got to give in life before you get it back.
For sure. I'm with you. Yes, yes.
And so I really believe in being in service,
Yeah.
in giving things away, supporting charity events, doing things in your community, because that's how people get to know, like, and trust you, right? That's the KLT factor that I really believe that I teach also to my coaching clients. But it's when you can belong to a community, it's more than just having a business. It's giving back. It's finding a purpose that you really believe in to make a difference.
Well,
right?
it's such a difference, honestly, because, you kind of, when we first just turned on, you were asking me a question like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing these interviews? Here I am, I'm a retired makeup artist. Well, I shouldn't say retired. I didn't retire voluntarily, really. I injured my back. And I went through a whole bunch of physical issues and yada, yada for the last 4 years. And I can't go back to it at all. And, lots has happened, of course. And I've been lucky in some regards in that, I can sort of survive without having to do that. But
yeah,
I need to feel, I'm super high performer. I need to feel really productive. And so I started doing these little YouTube makeup videos, even getting my own self back up out of my bed and doing my makeup again. That really motivated me just to get up, do my face. I had nowhere to go. We're in the middle of COVID and blah, blah. But, even my own skill level starts to improve just by pushing myself, to do that. And then, I did myself for a few months. And it's supposed to be a lifestyle makeup channel. And it occurred to me, that there are so many women out there with businesses that, are going through transition right now. I thought, well, why not use the channel for, especially moving into the holidays, use the channel to, propel, support, talk with, and try to make sure the world knows that, you're out there, and see if I can't, shine a light. It makes my heart sing. Why am I doing this? I don't have any financial gain. It's really just from the heart. It's because I've always been a woman in business, always done it for the last, quarter of a century. Can't do it anymore, but that doesn't mean I'm useless,
Yeah, totally. And I love what you're doing, because I think it's so incredible. I mean, you and I have been in the industry for a long, long time, right? Okay. And technically, I'm sort of semi-retired from my spa. I still have my studio, but I'm obviously through COVID, we haven't really been working, but I still sell a ton of product. Oh my God, my retail sales are still crazy strong, because I've created this incredible trust with my clients, and my clients just know. They're like, okay, I need this. What do you recommend? It's now winter. What do I need to use? And so the trust factor that I have with my spa clients that I still see is amazing. And that's what I'm trying to teach people is, it doesn't matter that you're not physically open if you are not open, but that doesn't mean you can lose your business over this.
Right.
All my coaching clients right through COVID have literally been able to survive and still technically thrive through this shutdown because they implemented business strategies that I've shared with them. Virtual consultation, curbside pickup, sending clients messages and creating little at-home spa kits. So people
that's a
have
good
been
idea.
people have really been able to continue to still generate some income. Is it the same level? Of course it's not. And I totally get that. But it doesn't mean you have to lose your shirt over this shutdown. And it's been so inspiring. I just had a call with one of my groups today, and one of the girls, she just started working with me in September. And she said, Tazeem, before I started working with you, I was maybe selling $50 a month. The last 2 months, she has sold over $800 in retail. And she's still pretty much barely open.
Yeah.
And so it's so inspiring to know that you can do it. You just have to shift your mindset around it.
Well, most certainly. I just turned 50 in October, and the big 50. And but boy, does your face and your skin shift in that 49, 48, 49, creeping up to 50. I have never spent so much money on skincare as I have this year. And I'll be picking your brain a little later on. And I want to know what you have in your closet or in your little cupboards. Because your skin is off the chain. That's crazy.
And I'm a little bit older than you are, so.
But it's like a baby. Look at the cheeks. It's anyway. Okay. So all right. So you became a master esthetician. Yep. And you're still doing aesthetics a little bit.
Very little, yep.
Yeah, and I also noticed that you're an author. Can you tell me a little bit about Spa Diaries and 365 Life Shifts? Is that correct?
Yeah, so Life Shifts was a really interesting project. Another colleague of mine introduced me to the project, and it was a very challenging time in my life, and I'll say that I speak from the heart when I share this about that piece of my life, because for a long time I was so raw and so vulnerable that I couldn't even talk about it. Like, you can hear my voice now. I feel almost emotional talking about it now because it really changed who I was.
Okay.
And in the moment, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But it's okay, because you know what? I've come out the other side, and I am so joyous now. I am so happy now. I am making, the same, if not more money than I used to before. And life is not about money. Truly, it isn't, because I love giving back and making a difference. But at the end of the day, we still have to put food on our table.
Right.
But that transition for almost 18 months, I completely lost who I was. And the reason it all started was because I walked away from my physical bricks and mortar business. I had a beautiful spa, like award-winning spa. Like, we had a gorgeous space. I worked with an architect and an interior designer. It took us months to build this space. We had this space for 10 years. I had clients would come from all over the city. And it was unbelievable. We had an incredible business, but it was time. It was time to have that closure. And it happened really in the last, what I call the last chaos that the world was in, was 2008, 2009.
I remember it. I closed the business during that time.
That's exactly when I was kind of forced to close my business. We were still doing well compared to most businesses, but I knew the writing was on the wall. My lease was up for renewal, and my husband and I talked about it, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I don't want to give the next 10 years of my life to my landlord and to the government. I don't want to be a slave to my staff anymore. I can't do this anymore." I was exhausted. I was burnt out, adrenaline burnt out, emotionally done. And you know what? I wasn't paying attention to my family, and I missed that so much. My kids were still young, and I knew I needed to walk away. And so, as much as it was it was like a death. It was like a mourning. I honestly mourned for almost 18 months. Like, I was completely hibernating. For anybody who knew me before and then knew me in those 18 months, I completely shut down.
Did you have a little bit of your identity attached to that, do you think?
Oh, it was 100% attached to that. Yeah. I was Skindulgent Spa, and Skindulgent Spa was Tazeem. So who the hell is Tazeem now, right? Yeah. And so there was that massive identity crisis. I had to reinvent myself.
Yeah.
And the reason I share this is because almost everybody goes through this at some point in their lives.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that you will come out the other side.
It's so important that you do share this, because if anybody just watches you, you're so positive, you're so upbeat. It's almost like nothing, and you've had such a wonderful life. Nothing bad's ever happened to you.
No.
But that's not, of course, true.
But
We've
it's
all
not.
been through.
Yeah.
I tell you, like, we have an awful lot of parallel-ish, existence. It's kind of amazing. It gave me, like, I got goosebumpies a little bit listening to the story, because I so have been there. And, just because something's done, it doesn't mean you're done. And I know there's going to be some ladies watching this, and some of them I hope I don't start crying. They've been texting me panicked about the pandemic, what to do. I'm going to be interviewing them coming up this month, and they're going to share their upset and their vulnerability as to what am I going to do now that this is happening. But it's that whole door closed, window open, kind of scenario. And you get an awful lot of growth out of those tough times, unfortunately or fortunately. But, those are the things that, and pivoting, you have to pivot the heck out of it.
My favorite word was pivot. And so this book was actually part of the healing process for me. So I had to submit my story. We were very, very tight. I think we had 350 words. Like, for me, if anybody knows me, I can talk forever. Like, that's why I hate Twitter, because I can barely say hello in 180 characters. I mean, I'm not a Twitter girl, because I love to talk. I love to share. And so for me to write a story, my story, in 350 words, every letter had to matter. And it was...
I'm reading it. I'm buying it today.
It was really, truly powerful. But what was so succinct for me, which I don't think I could have even planned it any better, even if I had tried, because I believe the universe just did this for me. The day that I moved into my current location, the book went #1 that morning in 8 categories.
What?
It was insane. Like, I can't even tell you. It was, I mean, and there was such a feeling, even right now, like my hair stands on end thinking
my hair is like, look at this. Like, it's like, look at it. It's standing right up, like right straight up with bumps everywhere.
It was so incredible, but I felt like a total world weight was lifted off my shoulders. Why? Because my story was now officially out. The healing process had almost come to a closure. And this space that I'm in Port Moody. I mean, I know you're in the city. So I'm in Port Moody, and I'm in the oldest building in Port Moody. That place has just got a magic about it that I can't even begin to tell you. I'm up on the 3rd floor in the oldest building in Port Moody.
Right now you are?
Yeah, right now.
I'm in Victoria.
Oh, you're in Victoria. Okay, I thought you were in the mainland. Okay, so I'm in a small little community called Port Moody, for anybody who's in the Lower Mainland. And it is, it's called the art, like, we're known as the city of the arts, but it's one of the oldest cities, and it's a very small city. And this building that I'm in is called the Perry Row Building. And anybody who's lived in the Tri-Cities knows the Perry Row Building, especially people that are healers, because there is a magic about this building that I can't even begin to tell you. Like, it is crazy energy. Like, I mean, I could do a whole podcast just on that.
I'm going to come see you there. I'll come. I'll take the ferry.
Totally. But it's a magical space. And that was the beginning of the new me. This journey moving into this space was the beginning of the new me in who I am, the power that I have, the passion that I feel, what I've been able to give back to my community. And being able to stand in who I am has been magical. And like, unapologetically standing in who I am, right? Like, I know I'm different, and I'm totally great with that. Like, some people don't like being different. I totally want to be like, I don't want to be like anybody else, right? Like, I always say purple hair, don't care. Like, this is who I am. This is part of my branding, right?
That's
like crazy hair, but I'm super open to meeting people. I believe that everybody has a story to share, and we can learn from everybody. It's not because you and I have been in the industry forever that we're the only ones that can teach. No. People that are new, people that are coming from other industries, we all have a story to share.
Yeah.
And that's what the world needs, is more kindness and more compassion right now. We all need to listen. We all need to support. We all need to respect. And just because we have a different opinion doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Yes,
And in today's
absolutely.
market, that has been the biggest story this year. As we know, our neighbors, further south to where we are, they've been living horrifying things. And it just
Yeah.
breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Really truly breaks my heart. And the beauty industry is, I think, impacted even at a deeper level, because we are the ones seeing our clients. We're the ones that have the privilege to touch. We're
Yeah.
in the client's bubble. We're in their energy.
Yes, there's very few industries where you get that privilege, where you get, which you and I both have had.
Yeah.
And when you've had it, there's nothing like it. And you're consistently, it can be the most giving thing, but you also have to watch that you don't get drained as well. So it's a little, but yes, absolutely. It's a very special, masseuse, hairstylist,
all of us, anybody who has the opportunity to, healing and wellness, it's really, really magical. So that book was truly, for me, was the pivot to who I am today. And I could not be more grateful for having had that opportunity. And it took me a long time. I mean, every time I read the book, or every time I thought about it, like, it took me months to write it. And every time I wrote it, I would cry, like literally bawl my eyes out. My husband, he's amazing. He's such a great listener, and he would just support me through the process, right? And then Spa Diaries was something that I wanted to launch, very similar to what you're doing here, really shining the light on estheticians and spa owners around the world in who they are as people. Now, obviously, through COVID, we haven't been able to launch the book. It was supposed to launch this month, actually. But because physical bricks and mortar, all of the factories, especially because we were going to be printing abroad, everything came to a total standstill. Because of COVID, I was saying that because of COVID, we basically had come to the conclusion that we couldn't print because we were going to print offshore. And so now I'm actually in the middle of pivoting again. There's that favorite word, pivoting again, and trying to create something different, taking this whole opportunity and reworking it. Yeah. And so eventually the Spa Diaries will be, it's just, we've had to put it on the back burner for now. But I have another project that I'm in the middle of doing, and I'm super excited about that, which I won't say too much about, but hopefully early in the new year, that is something that is on the book. So it'll be kind of similar to it's Spa Diaries, but a little bit different. So the concept will be a little bit different. The platform is going to be called It's a Spa Thing. Okay. Ooh, I love the nuggets. Yes, exactly. So it's going to be called It's a Spa Thing, and then there's going to be very similar stories to what you and I are doing here. Okay. So I would love to have the opportunity to interview you, to have you as a guest, so I can feature your story too, right? So for me, it's really about that give back. And yes, it will be an opportunity. In some cases, there'll be people that will have to pay to be on the platform, but everything costs money. And so, but beyond that, I would love to be able to feature people who have a comeback story, right? That's what right now I'm in the middle of collecting comeback stories. So what is your comeback story? Yeah. Have you really struggled? Did you lose your business and start over again? I want to know that in our industry specifically. So if there's anybody out there who's got a story that they want to share, that they've had a great comeback from, I would love to know. Please reach out to me. It's not going to happen for a while yet, but I'm starting to collect names of people that have those stories that are really poignant, that are really heartfelt, that are really inspiring, right? It's so important. We're like the Spa Rockies of the yes, exactly. Comebacks. Yes, this is fantastic. I'm going to keep bugging you about other things that you've done. So can you tell me about what is the purple carpet experience? Oh, this is my favorite thing to talk about. So I always think, we in the world of glam, of course, we're doing makeup, we're doing styling, we're doing clothing, we do fashion, we think of the runways, and we think of the red carpet experience. Now, there is definitely something to be said for the red carpet experience, right? Don't get me wrong, I think that's awesome. But I created this philosophy called the purple carpet experience that, it's funny, I've been doing this my entire career, but I never put a name to it until about maybe 6 years ago. And it's continued to grow and flourish and expand. And the basic overall arching concept of the purple carpet experience is create a wow factor for your clients. What makes your experience for the client memorable? Because today, so many people are deeply discounting. And as a coach, I totally disagree with discounts. I believe you've got to go above and beyond. And so when you think of the red carpet, you think of flash in the pan, 15 seconds of fame, you think of superficial conversations. The purple carpet is the opposite. It is deep connection with the client. It is about treating your clients like royalty, because the color purple represents the color of royalty.
That's right. Yes.
Also deeply spiritual. So in the realm of what we do, so many of us are healers. And so that's why, for me, purple is such a significant part of my branding. And not everybody has to use purple, but using the purple carpet concept will help you develop deeper relationships with your clients. That's really what it's all about. And so when I teach people that, there's so many elements to the purple carpet experience, but overall, the concept is making your clients feel so wowed that the price becomes irrelevant. It's not about the discount. It is about how do you make them feel and what is their experience. I'll give you an example. When a client comes to see me, I make up my bed beautifully in my treatment room. I have a beautiful glass square dish. I love crystals, and so I have an amethyst crystal, which is, again, purple. I have an amethyst crystal that I keep on this little dish. I have a beautiful ceramic purple mug for them. I put a business card, a piece of chocolate, and a handwritten note in colors that are shades of purple.
Yeah.
So as soon as the client walks in, they're greeted with this. They're like, oh my God, what's this? Right. And so it's such a beautiful way to really reduce the client's guard, help them feel more relaxed and welcomed.
Yeah.
Because what's more stressful than arriving at an appointment after driving for 45 minutes, freaking out about the traffic, thinking about your kids at home, but you're going for a spa treatment.
Yeah.
And so allowing the client to feel that exhale on every level is such a beautiful way to greet the client. So those are the kinds of things that are the purple carpet experience for the clients.
Yes, for sure. You know, I love that chocolate idea. And just a note, I always give my chocolate to my significant other. That way, when I go to the spa, he's like, "You're going? Okay, go." Because he knows he's getting a chocolate when he gets home. Because I can't have sugar anymore. What happens when you're 50? Anyway, that sounds wonderful. I'll have to come and get treatment. I mean, it must be really hard to come in and get to see you now because.
Well, and usually, I mean, obviously through COVID, it's been crazy, right? I've only just gone back, but I'm only seeing one client a day now.
Right.
And I only work 1 to 2 days out of the week.
Oof. It's a long wait list.
Yes. Normally I'm booked out at least 3 to 4 weeks.
Wow.
So it's pretty awesome. I love my clients. I'm so grateful for them.
So just, so how can we, if you've got somebody out there right now who is stressing about their spa, they haven't met you yet, they don't know you, what can we tell them to do? Because stress is first of all not good for you, but what can we tell them to do in order to spin this around? I mean, obviously I'm going to be linking your website, which you have a ton of information on. You also run Facebook groups as well. That's a really good place to kind of chat a little bit more, right?
For sure. Yeah. And I've got a free Facebook group, and I also have 2 coaching groups. Like I have a coaching group and another group that's called the Spa Marketing Forum, which is basically marketing in a box for estheticians. That's quite new. I just launched that last month. Okay. And so there's different ways people can work with me. They can work with me one-on-one or in any of my groups. But I also have a free group where every week we'll do free content to support and inspire people. So, they can join there. They do need to be in the industry. So I'm sure there's other people that will listen to this. But to join the free group, you do need to be a part of the spa industry. So whether that's a massage therapist, a makeup artist, like, I mean, even like a chiropractor, a hairstylist, a lash girl, nail girl, whatever, anything in the spa, health and beauty industry.
Okay.
If you're in that industry, then you can join my free group.
Okay.
Other than that, people can connect with me on Facebook. I've no problem. I love meeting new people. Happy to support. If someone's got a question, I can, direct them in the right area if they're needing something. But really, what the biggest thing I would say to people is, honestly, just pause. Take a deep breath. You're not alone. We're all living this together. Find a collective of people that will support you through this.
Yeah.
Stay away from negativity. Like, honestly, like, if someone's chirping in your ear that you can't or not, this is what, no. Don't listen to that. We will make it through to the other side. But how you make it through to the other side is based on what you do now.
Right.
And the big thing that I shared with so many people through COVID, because I did a lot of gratis work through COVID, like a ton.
What is gratis work? Maybe just explain what that is.
Yeah, sure. I did a lot of free work. So I did a lot of free coaching. I did a lot of free webinars, a lot of free seminars, a lot of online support for people because people were freaking out.
Yeah.
And so I did a lot of free coaching and free support.
Just putting yourself out there everywhere to help. Just
Absolutely.
Everywhere.
Yeah, totally. And I collaborated with a number of different companies to do like partnering, like how do you, promote yourself on video and how do you do this? And so I did a whole series of workshops that I did for free. But because of the work that I did, I was really blessed this year. I actually won the Best Business Education Award earlier in the year for 2020. So through an organization that I work with, and I was blown away. I had no idea that was even going to happen. I did it because I wanted to be in service, not to receive an award. But the award has been incredible, obviously.
Yes.
Right? It's another feather in my cap, and I've been blessed to have so many. But honestly, surrounding yourself with the right people, and as hard as it is, invest in your business growth.
Yes.
That is something most small business owners never do.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they're spinning their wheels. It's because they're not getting out of the box. When you're a solo practitioner or you're the only one making the business decisions, we have no one else to lean on. But when you have a collective, when you have a mastermind, and you have a group of people supporting you and pushing you to be better and stronger and to step out of fear, that's how we grow.
Oh, it's so true. Like, there could be something out there that costs it, let's just say $600 or $1,000, and you're just sitting there stressing over it. But that little bit that you spend can flip your thinking or flip your energy to make you so much more back. So really don't close yourself off if things are starting to get tight. Keep yourself open to that, because you'll never remember that little bit of money, but boy, it could sure shift the whole game. The whole game.
And I think the other thing that I would highly recommend any business do is stay in touch with your clients. That is the one thing so many people just stopped doing at the beginning of COVID. And it's almost the worst thing you can do for your business for two reasons. One, because clients now all of a sudden think because they can't come in to see you that you don't care about them. And that all you really wanted was their money. But that's not the case. In those first 4 or 5 months, I messaged my clients every 2 weeks. Hi, Mrs. Jones, how are you doing? Are you needing anything? I hope you and your family are safe.
Can you imagine what that meant to her? Or
and people would message me back and say, I'm so grateful to hear from you today. And it wasn't always about, I have something to sell. It was sometimes literally just, how are you coping with all of this? Are you safe?
You're going to make me cry. I'll try not to.
Are you safe? And I'm thinking about you. I'm missing my clients. Post on your social media. Send an email. This is the time. You've got more time than you've ever had in history to build your business right now. What are you doing to make that happen?
And I always think, just after I went through so many physical and I had depression, all these things, instead of thinking what you don't have, what do you still have? I still have a voice. I still have, I still have some physical abilities, or whatever it is. Just think of what you do have instead of what you don't have. Just even if it's only one or two things, use that. Like use that and make the most of it. I totally agree.
And I would even go as far as saying, if somebody is in a place where they're listening to this video of ours or this interview, and they say, "Oh my God, I should have done it and I never did," it's never too late. Don't feel like just because you didn't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. Pick up the text, pick up your phone, write an email and say, "I'm so sorry, I've not been in touch. This has been a crazy time for all of us. I felt paralyzed." Be vulnerable.
That's right.
And say to your clients, "But now I want you to know that I'm here. I want to continue to give you support." Inspire your clients. Teach them about what you can offer them. It's not about the sale, because right now anything you talk about is more than just the sale.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have Zoom like we do right now, right? Tazeem, like you could probably, this is me with my ideas flying. You could get together and do a little Zoom with some of your clients and do a little at-home facial if you can't.
That's what I teach
with
people.
them. Just something, anything.
That's exactly what I teach people to do. Yep, for sure.
Well, tell me when you are happiest.
Honestly, believe it or not, when I'm working, because I don't look at what I do as work. I
Right.
am so in love with what I do.
Yeah.
And with my clients that I'm literally, my husband knows now after all these years that I actually have notebooks by my bedside, and I'm known to wake up in the middle of the night and write down a crazy idea. Yep. You know how many notebooks I have? You would die if you saw how many notebooks I've got. And I don't let go of anything.
Yeah.
And of course, my family, right? Like my family is my heart. I have two beautiful daughters. I have a 19-year-old who's working sadly at home right now. She was in Ontario, but she's home because of COVID. And our other daughter just got engaged a couple of months ago. So that's pretty awesome. Super, super exciting. And my husband, you know, he's my best friend and you know, he's one of my biggest supporters in what I do. He's amazing. So my family is a big part of it. We're foodies. We love food. We love wine.
Yeah.
My husband actually was a chocolatier for many, many years.
Ooh.
So he makes chocolate. So every Christmas we make chocolate. And we usually make enough for friends and family. But of course, this year is going to be a bit weird. But he always makes chocolate. And so we have a ritual. And so he actually brought out the chocolate machine a couple of days ago, and he's melting the chocolate, and then we're going to make chocolate together. We always do that together. So those
chocolate and wine sounds like a pretty awesome Christmas, I think.
Right, totally. And we love to travel. We traveled a ton last year, but of course right now we're not. But you know, we love to travel, and we're at that place in our lives now that we're blessed enough that we can do that, right? But traveling is amazing because I think it changes your perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Open mind about the world. You tend not to be as judgmental about people and things because you get to see the world in its raw state when you travel, right? When you get to meet local people.
Yes, and then, you know, you get used to everything you see around you, and having a sense of wonder is just such a neat, fabulous thing to have. So what are your goals? What are your goals coming up? What do you think? What is your...
I want to really continue to grow my business, of course. I'd love to be able to put this new project, it's a spa thing, in a light where I can really help support and inspire other estheticians. Obviously, when the world opens up again, to travel a lot, but be able to still be able to do my work, because other than beyond being in the spa, you know, this I could do from anywhere, right?
For sure. Where's your next dream place to go when we get out of this?
Well, this year we already had booked 2 big trips this year. We were supposed to be in London and Paris.
Wow.
That will be where we will definitely like to rebook. And then Bali. This time we were supposed to be in Bali right now, but not so much this year.
Staring at it.
Some other plans for us, right? So
where do you think you get your drive from?
Oh my God, that's a great question. I don't know. You know what? I honestly, truly believe I'm so high on life. Like I am so in love with who I am and the privileges that I have and the people that I get to work with every day. I don't. And my family, honestly, my family has been such a huge part of who I am. Such a positivity. Both my parents are incredibly giving people. They're very generous with their time and their resources, and they're just really, really easygoing people. And I'm blessed to have been born, you know, to be their daughter and have learned so much from them. And
Yeah.
so to be able to give back to the world, so often people will message me and they're just desperate and they're stressed. And, just sharing a couple of tips, even though they're not working with me, to be able to give them that is so magical to me, because it's like I made a difference for them. And if I can make a difference for them when it's the right time, or maybe they will either work with me or maybe they'll refer somebody to me. And it's not about that for me. It's not about the money, because for me, it's about helping to fuel other people's dreams, helping them, knowing that I've been there before. I know what it's like to be a solo. I know what it's like to not have clients. I know what it's like to feel like you're drowning. I've been there. Trust me.
And you're taking on clients, they can be anywhere, basically anywhere in the world?
I have a client in Trinidad. I have a client in New Zealand. I have a client in Malta. I have clients all over the world. It's so great. Like,
Do you know what it would be good is? It would be good to have a list of these spas that you work with, so that anybody right now who's looking for someone to go see, and they just don't know where to go, which spa to go to, then there could be like a list of all
That's a
the
great idea.
all these spas, and then we could even attach it. Once you get it together, attach it to this video. If it goes viral, then they all get calls from everywhere.
I would absolutely love to do that. Yeah, a list of my coaching clients. I love that. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. So now, is there anything you want to ask me before I wrap up? Because I don't want to take up your whole day.
It's been amazing. Well, I just think what you're doing is absolutely unbelievable. The fact that you reached out and you have been on this role of just interviewing all these incredible women. I can't wait to watch some of these interviews, and I will do whatever I can to support you, because I think this mission is beautiful, because you and I obviously are on the same wavelength about making a difference and giving back and shining light on other people. And I truly believe that in life, when we learn to collaborate versus feel like we're in competition with others, that's when the magic truly happens. Like, we can all be in the same industry, but really at the end of the day, we are all who we are as individuals, and clients will come to you because of you. That is your business. And people must never forget that. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. People will do business with you because they know, like, and trust you.
Well, I'm going to be linking everything down below, and you guys can obviously get a hold of Tazeem for spa, but it's going to be weeks ahead, just warning you. However, if you're in the beauty industry at all, and I'm going to be posting this in some of the groups that I'm in that have to do with makeup artistry or beauty, I've got thousands of girls that I know are going to need something like this right now, what to do, because they don't know how to think outside the box and just need a little coaching, a little guidance. So I'll definitely be sending your way. And I am so grateful just to have this time with you. I will never forget it. It's been really special. Thank you so much. I think it's
the beginning of a long-term friendship. So
I'm hoping.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So thank you for all that you're doing and shining light on others, including myself. I'm beyond grateful. And, thank you so much. Much love to you, and stay safe, stay well, and sending you love.
Yes,
for sure.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much.